Good evening, you guys. How are you doing? Happy Sunday to you. I hope everything is going good for you, honey. I really do. It's not easy, but it's possible, right? So, as you all see, the country is pretty much in turmoil because of everything our current administration putting into motion, getting rid of. It's a scary time, right? So, I want to touch on this real quick. Do you guys remember when the Left Behind series first came out? The Left Behind series. Hey Siri, who wrote the Left Behind series? Tim Leahy and Jerry B. Jenkins. I remember being in Kentucky, sitting in my little beanbag in the living room while the kids were napping, and I was reading two books at the time, No More Sheets by Juanita Bynum, and I was also reading Left Behind. Okay, that's when the very first one came out, not the other ones. And I remember reading the book, and a thought occurred to me that the way we will know that we're dealing with a Luciferian antichrist government, it is going to be because they're going to isolate the president. And behind closed doors, this European person will really be making the decisions. The president would be isolated by this person, by this outsider or whatever. And so when I heard the Associated Press are no longer allowed at the White House, that memory came flooding back to me so fast, it almost knocked me off of my feet. But if you didn't read it, please go and read it because the Left Behind series was kind of Tim Leahy's and the other gentleman's interpretation of the book of Revelation in a modern manner. Number two, the other thing we need to be mindful of is also the fulfillment of the word, as far as people looking for signs and things in the sky and think they seeing Christ returning or seeing angelic host. We have to remember all this stuff because Elon Musk he's sending a flight several times a day. We have the Virgin uh, music mogul, he's constantly sending up stuff. Space Force constantly sending up stuff. So they could project anything they want to from the sky or the heavens, and people would believe it, right? We need to be mindful of those things. Number three, I I had the craziest dream the other night. I had this dream that I went to go visit this church. I don't know why I was there to visit it, but I was there to visit a church. And honey, they were getting down like James Brown, baby. When I tell you they was dancing, they dancing disco inferno, honey. They were dancing, and not like David dance. It was a worldly dance, like carnal, but they had like the church runs playing, if that makes sense. And then they had this music playing. And I said, this is God's house. You don't do this. This is holy ground. You don't do this. And they were like, this gospel music, what you talking about? And girl, they got to dance some more and they were just sweating profusely, honey. The women were bending over and twerking in front of it was a hot mess with no fan, right? But anyway, I kept protesting and flipping tables over, telling them to get out of God's house, get out, get out. Honey, they turned on me like some vipers. Do you hear me? They began literally physically assaulting me. Like I am in there fighting these grown behind men. I'm talking about, and I'm literally in a dream saying, this is the time I have to fight this thing with the full armor of God on. You can't win. I literally remember saying, you can't win this fight when I am fighting you with the full armor of God on. You can't win this fight against me. You won't win this fight against me. And baby, I am in there sword slinging. I am in there fighting, honey. It is feet, foot, and everything else going, honey. It is a full blown, and it is bloody. It is bad. It is, honey. It was the weirdest, most intense dream I've had in a very long time. All because I was telling them to quit bringing your carnality in a place of worship. This is not a club. And I remember saying, oh, this is so awful to say this. I remember saying to the guy, if you won't surrender your flesh, you will die by your flesh. I said that to him. If you refuse, and that's when I realized the sword was in my hand and how heavy it was. I told them, you come in here, but if you refuse to surrender your flesh, you will die by your flesh. Not live by the sword and die by the sword is living by your flesh and in your flesh. You would die in it. Baby, it was a battle. Hear me when I say that. And it was like the music had some kind of power in it or something. I know I sound crazy. I'm gonna leave it alone. But I say all that for a reason. Like, we have come to the time that the fight is not against flesh and blood, it's against carnality. It's about powers, it's about principalities. Principalities, that's a region. That's not just an entity, a group of entities. That's a region, right? And that is what we're fighting against, honey. You better put on the full armor of God, honey. You're gonna need it to fight this fight. I mean, because they taking over the church. They're literally taking over the church with carnality. And it all traces back to believers allowing people to pervert the word of God. That's what it goes back to. That's what it goes back to, believe it or not. Believers sitting there letting unclean people tell them what it means to be clean when they don't want to get clean. That's it. That's all. I uh I I've been observing a lot of things. You need to be thinking of ways to generate money for you to be able to throw in the savings because uh I feel sorry for people who get tax returns. I'm gonna tell you why I feel sorry for them. Every single year they be betting on that money. And I'm watching this year as they squander and waste that money. They buying Beyonce tickets, they buying all kinds of frivolous stuff, clothes, shoes, honey. You need to be putting that money cash somewhere because you ain't gonna be able to trust the banks in a little bit. You need to be like my aunt, my great aunt Rachel. When when she had Alzheimer's and we had to go clean out her house and stuff. Honey, I messed around and leaned against the wall. The whole wall moved. Honey, the whole wall moved, and from the floor to the ceiling was all of these cans, and the cans were rusted. But the entire side of those cans, they were hollowed out, and it was nothing but money, rows and rows and rows and rows and rows of money, sitting in sitting in that hidden wall like it was a pantry. It wasn't a pantry; it was her bank, honey. And we are in a time when he playing with the Federal Reserve and he playing with IRS like he playing. You really need to have a pretty good stash of liquid assets somewhere hidden that nobody knows about or know where to find it. I'm serious. That you can get access to at any time. Yeah, it's like that. Anywho, I right now I can't listen to gospel music. I have to go back to the old songs um to feel connected because right now, like you said, Ruby, it's just secular music with a beat to it. That's all. With some gospel words to it. I've said it for years. They couldn't make it as R&B mainstream artists and they just went gospel because it's easier. I had a rare opportunity. I didn't even know it existed. I had the opportunity to hear a recording of Maddie Mae Moss singing. I had a chance to hear her sing. And I noticed too, there were, she was just a phenomenal singer. And she understood the composition of music in a way that most people don't. That's why she's an icon. But I was listening to her and I was like, this era passed away, with artists such as herself. Um, and I think what hurt a lot of denominations, they have left holiness, righteousness way in the past, right? And because of that, their ministries are suffering because of it, and they will continue to suffer without it. You can't have it. You can't have your ministry and everything if you don't have holiness, righteousness, and the fulfillment of that word going on. You can't keep asking him to keep your doors open. Am I right or wrong? Hmm. Let me get these comments real quick, Ruby, because I saw 'em. Mhm. Oh my God. Hey, Clark. Clark, how are you doing? Oh my God. How are you doing? Hello there. Long time no hear. I stopped following those people and they messed a long time ago. Girl, Clark, you don't play no games with them. I pray all is well. It is well, Clark. I cannot complain. Like I am not kidding. God is so good, Clark, and I'm sure that you know that already, honey. And it is evident in your life. God, he's a sustainer. You get what I'm saying? Like I can't say not just a sustainer, but a healer. He is the lover of my soul. So no complaints. It is well. It is well. It is well. Hey, sis. I hope all is well with you and the fam. Regarding Thaddeus Matthews, what you are seeing is a spirit that has evolved from watching pornography. The eyes are the window of the soul. So, watching for prolonged, it is going to manifest itself in some way. That depraved spirit is on full display. P.S. You talking about Mother Frances Kelly. Yes, that is her name. Mother Frances Kelly. Show is. She will get you together quick, snatch and gather. Yes, ma'am, honey. Girl, we need about 50,000 of her right now, honey. Baby. That lady, she's so funny. But she honest. She's honest. You get what I'm saying? Like you can't find people who love you enough to be that honest. I'm serious. Like I was thinking this was some months ago that I wish more people hold on one second. What she texted me? Okay. Hold on, y'all. Got you. What I was about to say is the following that I lost my thought just that quick. I don't know what I was about to say, but it was something because I just got a text message that's going around, and I'm sure um, y'all probably got it too. Yeah, the way we're going about it. Okay, we gonna just put it that way, So you probably got a text or inbox about it too, but it just that thought just slipped my mind just that fast because I got a text from my aunt. Good God Almighty, what was it? I don't even remember. Lord, forgive me. Okay, then I'm gonna hop off because it's gonna drive me crazy because I cannot remember it. I can't. Honey, that's what I was about to tell y'all too. So the other week I had a formal event to attend, right? And honey, I got it. Of course, you do what you do. You get what I'm saying? You do what you do when you do formal events. So, being that the unit was put on with adhesives when I took it down that evening, took the pins out, of the style and everything. Honey, I tried to slip that thing off and it was like, not today. You're not taking me off today. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna just wear it until it loosens up and, do different styles with it and stuff. So then I started aching, like I was coming down with something. And I was like, well, maybe because I didn't wear a stole, I didn't wear a coat. I'm just out there with all my back out, like what I'm saying. So I was like, maybe I caught me a cold or something, or I'm coming down with the flu because I've been traveling a lot. So then I started noticing that like all in my legs and stuff was just hurting. Like I couldn't describe it. It was just hurting, honey. Everything was getting stiff. So then I needed to go renew my ID. Now, when I go renew my ID, y'all know I'm going fresh faced and cute. But I looked at that picture and I was like, my God, in Zion, my face is swollen. My face looked like a plate. Like when I smiled, you couldn't see my eyes because the upper part of my head was swollen and it was squeezing my eyes. Like my eyes looked like slits when I smiled. That's not normal. And I said on the picture, I was like, my face is swollen. Like that's crazy. Right. So then I ignored that right where that lace was applied, it was a little itchy. So I would just take my nail and just run it across it, and that would be the end of it. Right. Baby, my throat started hurting, feeling like something was in it and I can't cough. Now, because I've gone into anaphylaxis before, I know exactly what that cough means. So I knew to get my hind parts to the doctor ASAP. I got there, and so they're checking, they looking, they like, you definitely have an allergic reaction, but we don't know what to. Honey, it's the adhesive in the lace glue. Honey, it is full of latex, and I am thoroughly allergic to latex. It had swollen my face. It had made me achy. It had got all down in my joints. And my throat was starting this little malfunction junction of closing up, honey. It was the darn lace glue. Honey, I tell you this horrible story for a reason. Please do a skin test on the inside of your wrist for all adhesive you're going to be putting to your skin, honey. Check it, check it, check it, check it, check it, honey. Check it. Now, I ain't want my military ID to have me looking up. I told the girl, I said, baby, I got to come back in 30 days because my face is swollen on there and I can't have nothing like that going around. And I'm whipping this out of my pocketbook. So she was laughing. She was like, okay, she said, we're not supposed to, but I get what you're saying because I was like, this is not normal. My face is not normal. My face don't look like this. So she was like, let me find out if I can do the 30 days. I just want to make sure I don't want to get in trouble. She said, yeah, they said we can do the 30 days. You can go ahead. Honey, I'll go back in a month and get it done when I am not about to go into anaphylactic shock. I guess my face was like, God darn it, she ain't listening. Let me blow her darn face up like a balloon. So, girl, uh-uh, honey. Test everything. How was y'all Valentine's Day, honey? What did you do for your boo, or what did you do for yourself? Did you do Galentine's? What did you do, child? What did you get into, girl? I know it was gorgeous, no matter what. No matter what. Oh, by the way, Ruby, this is the February book. Lord have mercy. I don't want to give you the wrong date. I know February almost over, but honey, I'm still reading it. It's a good book. Hold on, let me get to my books because I'm reading multiple of them right now. This read it is titled African American Religious History. Hold on, let me get back to this thing. I'm gonna get me a Kindle, child, because my little book. Okay, it is African American Religious History, a documentary witness. This is the second edition, edited by Milton C. Cernet, Duke University Press in 1999. So please go read it. African American Religious History. I've thoroughly enjoyed reading it, and you wouldn't believe the information they willfully, deliberately did not hide and put inside of the pages. It's part of the C. Eric Lincoln series on the Black experience. So, honey, trust me, you're gonna get a kick out of that. I promise. You're gonna get a kick out of reading that one. I promise. And not only that, I can admit it was very encouraging. It's been very encouraging to me as a Black Christian because, honey, we getting it from every side for just being Black and Christian, right? So another one that's available, I haven't found it yet. It is titled This Far by Faith. Readings in African American Women's Religious Biography. And that one was published in 1996. So check that one out too. If you're able to find it, let me know, please. I haven't been able to find that one. And that one was published at Rutledge. So let me know if you're able to find it or not. I just feel like we're getting it from everywhere, but we have to remain faithful. We have to remain optimistic and more than ever, really, really, really dig our heels in about standing for the gospel, not the trendy one they doing right now. No, the real one, right? Um, and so with that said, I'm going to leave you with this one for your week. Joshua chapter 3, the whole chapter of Joshua chapter 3. Maybe that'll encourage you, help you pep your week up, try to get you amped up and get you ready to go. Hold on, somebody died. The wife of gospel music icon Mr. Lee Williams has passed. Annie Ruth Williams. I'm not familiar with her. I do apologize. Okay. All right. I'm about to bounce out of here, child. Rest for a minute because I got to get ready for next week, child. More rolling and roaming around like Autobots, child. Oh, that's what I was about to say. I think I started it. I was thinking to myself that I wish people were and felt comfortable being honest with me when I needed to go, when it was time to go, and I didn't know. But I wish people were honest enough with me to have told me it's time. You've done enough. You've done enough. You've invested enough. You've sacrificed enough. You've been patient enough. You've been gracious enough. You've been loving enough. I wish people felt comfortable enough to tell me the truth. Not only that, loved me enough to tell me the truth. And I had to learn about society and people in a way I wish I didn't. And that is if you have the money, if you have the affluence, if you have the connections, they won't open their mouth to you. They will say yes and go along with anything you say or want to do. And it could be wrong. It could be some dark stuff and they'll go right along with it. And I hate that I learned that about people. And I wish I hadn't because it changed the way I understand people now. People, honey, It could have been the foulest stuff. Ain't nobody gonna say nothing about it. You got the money, you got everything you need, child. Don't even worry about it. They once you get us to a certain point, a lot of people lose their own moral convictions because of what you have, what you own, what you do. You get what I'm saying? The circles you run in. Because of that, whether it's earned, uh, birthright, heir, whatever, it doesn't matter. You work for it, it doesn't matter. Once you get to a certain spot, people compromise their own morals, their own values to go along with whatever you want to do because you got the money. And I really wish I hadn't learned that. It's something I've been wanting to talk about for a while. I think the hardest thing for me was while I was married, the hardest thing for me was how much my husband's family harped on money. Now they don't have no money. They don't. They don't have no money. Um, and it used to disturb me. It used to really, really get down to my soul. Like you'll ask them about a guy somebody dating or engaged to, or just he got money. He got money. He worked every day. He got money. He got money. And that used to bother me because that's not part of my value system. Now, get me wrong. Don't get me wrong. I'm not trying to be on Snap. I'm not trying to be on TANF. I'm none of that. I'm not that girl. That is not my ministry, right? So I know how to make money. That's basically what I'm telling you. Married or not, I'm gonna have my money. Period. Right? But it's not the thing that leads for me. I'm looking at character. I'm looking at your soul, right? And that was the biggest barrier for us is that I really, really was gauging everything about him based on his character, hard stop. Based on his faith, hard stop. Those two were priority for me because I knew if either one of them were compromised or breached, you wouldn't be able to be a good husband to me. You won't be able to really, really partner with me and cover me and protect me the way that I need for you to. And not want me to, want you to, but the way I need for you to, right? Um, and I look now and people are complaining about, oh, she a gold digger, this chick want money, this chick. And I'm like, the hypocrisy of it all, everything is about money with you all. It's the hypocrisy and the lying for me that just drives me crazy. That you're money and materialism driven, and then you get mad when somebody handle you that way. But you all can't handle when a woman coming for your character and she looking at your faith, and that's it. She looking at the actual man. Okay, I am looking for the person that God breathed in and he became a man. The one who listened to what God say, that man. You get what I'm saying? So it's that I'll tell anybody that is what broke it. That is when that foundation for me, when that got compromised, everything just started shaking, just like gradual tremors that you're not aware of, like little tremors or earthquakes, and you're not paying attention. It's just eroding away the foundation, just bit by bit by bit. And I would never understand why valuing the person, valuing their character, valuing their walk with Christ is a bad thing. I don't know. That to me, that mean more than anything. You know what I'm saying? You gonna mess up the money if one of them two out of place. You're gonna mess up this family if one of them two out of place. You're gonna mess up the business if one of them two out of place. You're gonna mess up our reputation and our legacy and our future. One of them two out of place. And so I look now And I can honestly say I really can't blame the young ones for coming for the money nowadays like they do. I can't. Oh no, ma'am. I can't because they are overwhelmingly proving that those two don't exist for them, their character and their faith. So the girls coming for what is most valuable to them to prove that you actually love me or you want to be with me or you value me. So the girls are pulling on what the men value the most. That's what they're coming from. Give me your heart. Okay, if your heart is your money, give me your money. You see what I'm saying? So if your value is your loyalty, you know what I'm saying? Your value is your honor, your value is your dignity and your faith, then that's what I'm coming to partner with. That's what I need from you. You get what I'm saying? So I can't, I'm still not a I'm still not a ask a guy for something person. Like, I'm cool if you give it to me. I ain't gonna turn it down. I appreciate it, but I ain't gonna be asking you for nothing because I can do it by myself. That don't bother me. But if you want to offer it, I'm very, very, very thankful. But that's not the priority for me. But I wish someone understood how much my husband's faith meant to me. I wish somebody understood how much his character meant to me. I wish people understood that that's what I was fighting for, to be restored. That was the priority for me. But at the same time, I wish somebody were honest enough to say, sis, put it down, get down, get down, stop. But they didn't. And I'm not angry because they didn't. I'm just saying that they did. All right, I'm hopping off and I look forward to y'all comments. Happy Valentine's Day weekend to you. Much love, dears. Have a good night. Bye.